It's pretty hard to argue with a side-by-side made by Polaris. They were the originators of the sport category, and since the introduction of the RZR have pretty much dominated every single class. The original RZR was 50 inches and 800 cc's, and while the motor stayed at this displacement for quite some time, the width grew to 60 inches in 2009. Since that time, there have been few discernible changes to the S model, but a lot of speculation about what would come. Was it time for Polaris to make a serious change, or could the vintage RZR platform continue to deliver in a market that had quickly become a battlefield? Yes, the old RZR was getting a little long in the tooth, but honestly, it still kicked butt and would hold its own against most of the competition. However, it wasn't until Arctic Cat stepped up to the plate and hit a line drive right into the meat of the market with the Wildcat Trail that Polaris decided to respond. And respond they did. Leave it to Polaris to be the ones who bring a fire truck to the squirt gun fight. Not only did they do away with the old 800 motor entirely, they also threw out the baby with the bathwater and started completely from square one. The brand spanking new RZR S stays true to the 60-inch classification, and I believe that's just about the only thing it keeps from the old RZR S. Sporting a 75 horsepower, yeah, 75 freaking ponies, this 60-incher is a missile, and unfortunately for just about every other manufacturer, has exploded directly on target, sending everyone else back to the drawing board. It's not just the 900 ProStar that makes this such a sweet ride. It's the all-new chassis that's able to translate all of that available horsepower into real-world results. So right up front, you've got a way bigger cabin space, something that we've been begging for since, well, it's been a long time. No more side net bar intruding into your space, no more cramped quarters, but still that aggressive positioning and low CG seating that we have come to love from the RZR. With the interior space being increased and driver ergonomics being finely tuned to perfection, the performance of the S must be at least on par with the previous version, no? Oh yeah. While we did expect to see a smaller version of the trailing arm XP1K rear suspension, the S gets dual A-arms both front and rear. Is it a disappointment or an issue? Nope, not in the slightest, as the Fox Podium X 2.0s soak up the little stuff, medium gnar, and do a pretty good job with even the big hits. Are they Elka Stage 5s? No, they're not, but they ain't bad. With 13.2 inches out back and 12.25 up front, you've got plenty of travel, and an increase all around over the previous S model. The RZR S has always been exceptionally confident sideways. The drift fun factor is big, and keeping in tune with their heritage, Polaris has made sure this new S still gets you giggly when you're sideways at 70. And let me tell you, I pushed this new chassis and suspension hard. It's confident, stable, and thanks to the quick reaction of the ProStar motor, it's easy to steer it with nothing more than the throttle. And speaking of steering, when you're not breaking the rear tires loose and you're actually using this steering wheel, there's a whole lot to talk about. Power steering is standard on all S models but the most basic. Ours is EPS equipped. It's not adjustable, it's not overpowering, but it does deliver the classic Polaris handling characteristics. By this I mean you almost have to check to see if there truly is a power steering unit under the hood. And at higher speeds, the reduction helps you feel more sporty and in control, but at lower speeds the effort is significantly reduced and easy to turn the big 27-inch rubber. And yes, the rubber does stay the same as the previous S model at 27 inches, but gone are the days of the bighorns. And I'm not going to say I'm all that sad to see them go. With a complete departure from what we expected, Polaris opted for a set of GBC Dirt Commanders. I personally love these as factory shoes. They are extremely aggressive and will not only give you mind-blowing grip on the track, but incredible high-speed trail traction and exceptionally good low-speed crawling grip. Honestly, this might be the nicest tire package offered from the factory of any side-by-side going. I wonder if the bigger horsepower XP1K we all know is in the works will see something like this. One can only hope. I usually like to take a moment to point out a thing or two that seems wrong, but the truth is I can't find any fault in this rig, besides the fact that the EPS versions are just a little bit pricey. You get pretty cool coloration packages. Ours is called the Black Pearl, but it's going to run you about $2,000 more than the base non-EPS version. And really all you're getting is the EPS and some colors. Unless this is Johnny Depp's Black Pearl, it seems a little steep. Is it a deal breaker? No, but I can't help but wonder what an aftermarket EPS kit and a graphics package actually costs. So the RZR S is all new. Is it worth it? Yes. Does it up the game? Absolutely. Is there anything else in the industry that can hold a candle to this vehicle? Well, to answer that question, you're going to have to tune in a couple of short weeks, where we're going to shoot it out against the only vehicle that we believe can give it a good run for its money. Like the video you just saw? Do you want to see more? Click the subscribe link and add the Trax channel, and you're going to see a whole lot more great content.